So this video is going to show you how well the Adaptable Blotter can work with iPushPull, how you're able to easily export any data you want from the grid, from the Adaptable Blotter into PushPull, and you can then see PushPull change as you update your data in the Adaptable Blotter. So let's open a dummy data set. Let's do a price blotter commodity. And the first thing we're going to do is just send a simple pre-shipped range. The Adaptable Blotter comes with 3 ranges, all data, selected cells, visible data. So let's select visible data. And as you can imagine, that sends everything that you can see in your grid to your chosen export. So we're going to send that to PushPull. So we just need to log in. And then we need to choose a page. So let's choose my data page. Select that. And the data's gone to PushPull. And I've got iPushPull working on my Parallels desktop on a virtual Windows machine. And if I go into PushPull, click on my data page, you can see what we've just sent. And because everything is live, if I was to change these, so I would say I just want to see agriculture and livestock, say, then I go back here and I see agriculture and livestock. And obviously, any data changes I make, so if I was to update all these, let's do a smart edit, let's add 2 to each of these, so you go from there to that, apply that to the grid, they update, and obviously PushPull's updated as well. So that's a simple range which we ship with the blotter, but you can also create obviously your own ranges with your own data. So let's give an example. Let's imagine that we want to use index and interest rate as our filter, but we don't want to have to recreate it each time. So what we can do is we can create something called a user filter. Let's do that now. We will say index and interest rate. We'll give that a name, financial, created one earlier. And there we are. It's anywhere where the commodity type is index or interest rate. And now that filter you can obviously use as a simple filter here. So we can, there we are, there's the financial which we've created. But in fact you can use it anywhere at all. You can use it to create a style, or you can search on it, or for any of our many functions. So let's now create a range which will wrap up that user filter we just created. You can choose your columns, or you can do all columns. We'll keep it simple, do all columns. And now you can create a range. So let's say where our commodity type is financial. Let's give this a name. Financial range, finish. And now my range basically sends any data where the commodity type is in the user filter financial. You can add as many conditions as you want. Let's keep it simple. If we now send that to iPushPull, let's do the same page. If we go back into iPushPull, there we are. You can see index and interest rate. So it's now looking at our data. Again, obviously that data is all updating naturally. So if I was to change this, if I was to do a smart edit on this row, instead of making it 0.1, I was to make it, add 3 to it, that updates, and then it's updated here. But in fact, if we were to change the underlying user filter, which this range is itself covering, then that will also trigger a change. So let's go back into our user filter. Let's edit the financial, and instead of saying just have index and interest rate, let's also add currencies as well. So now if we add that to our range, keep everything else the same. So now the user filter has where commodity type is index, interest rate and currencies. Because our financial range is looking at that user filter, when we go into our PushPull, we can see that currencies have been added. And the beauty about ranges, and there you can see the data updating as we talk, the beauty about ranges is that you can just specify them once. In fact, the data doesn't even need to be visible in your grid, so you can set up a range called end of day, activity today, my trades, whatever you want. Just specify that query one time, and then you can send it as often as you want, and it will evaluate automatically and dynamically and send the data not only to iPushPull, but to Excel, to Symfony, and to a whole range of other places. So that's the Adaptable Blotter and iPushPull working well together to give you live dynamic updates.